Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'm Leah. I think that all of you know me by now, and if not, call down, order some food, and hopefully I'll answer the phone. It's great to be here with you on another Sunday morning and another edition of Sunday Morning Yoga, still joining you virtually, and I'm really excited to be able to come to you in your home. So as usual, start to kind of get your area ready to go. Find your chair or your other comfortable seat. Like I've said before, sometimes a coffee table or something small like a stool that you can sit on can actually work really well. For other portions of class where you need something to support your hands, your table or your countertop are often sturdier than a chair you might have available at home. And additionally, if you use a walker, your walker with the brakes on can also work really well. So with that, go ahead and take a moment to get set up. Get ready to go here, and then come into your seat. You want to sit a little bit forward on your chair so that there's space behind you. Make sure your feet can reach all the way to the ground, and set your feet up right underneath your knees about hip distance apart. Sit up a little bit taller, bring your shoulders in line over your hips, and likely this will feel like you're leaning slightly forward to actually be stacked up vertically. Rest your hands comfortably. Maybe it's on your legs or in your lap. And close your eyes. Just start to notice how you feel this morning. Check in with yourself. Notice anything that might be new or different today without judgment, just acknowledging and moving on. I like to start from the floor and go up, so I'll start with my feet and toes. Work up my legs to my seat, up my torso, and then down my arms, and out through the crown of my head. Just checking in one piece at a time. Whenever you can, try to find ease, letting go of tension, especially in your jaw, your face, or the space behind your eyes. Start to notice your breath. Is it maybe a little quicker or slower than normal? How does it feel this morning? If you'd like, you might start to deepen your breath, encouraging a deeper inhale to go down into your low belly, filling up and expanding out. And on your exhale, releasing all your air, emptying out completely. Continue on in this way, inhaling fully, and as you exhale, release every last bit of air. You can breathe in and out through your nose if you like, or if you prefer to breathe in and out through your nose and mouth, certainly go for it. Open your eyes. Bring your arms down by your sides and reach fingertips down. Sit up nice and tall, extend your spine. Start to get a little active. And press your feet down to the floor. Keep pressing your feet down. Start to feel your legs getting strong. And then draw shoulders up to your ears, down, back, and reach down through your fingertips. Keep pressing feet down. Sit up a little taller. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Again, inhale fully. Exhale, empty out. One more time, full inhale. Open your mouth, exhale. We'll go through many movements during class today. You're always welcome to modify. You're welcome to sit something out or take a different movement that makes more sense for you. You want to listen to your body and take those moments for more and less intensity as they come up. On your next inhale, reach your arms forward and up overhead. Try to get wrists right over shoulders and send your chest forward. Extend up more through fingertips. Press your feet down. Feel your legs getting strong. Take one more full breath in. And exhale. Slowly bring arms back down by your sides. Reset to that neutral position. Shoulders up, back, and down. Reach through your fingertips. Press your feet down. Knees in line over ankles. Then inhale, arms sweep forward and up once more. Reach through fingertips. Send your chest forward. Keep pressing feet down. Great job. Inhale up a little taller. And exhale. release down. One more time, inhale up. Reach tall. This time with an exhale, make cactus arms. Squeeze your shoulders in on your spine and let your hands move back, more in line over your elbows. This can be more passive, or if you want more of a stretch, really squeeze your shoulders in, press elbows back, and send your chest forward. As always, keep pressing your feet down. Take one more breath in, and on your exhale, release your arms. Roll your shoulders out a few times, and then inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Squeeze shoulders and lift your chest. And again, the more you squeeze behind you, the more stretch you'll get. So gauge by what your body's telling you it needs this morning. Take one more breath in and exhale, release. Take your hands to your legs and roll those shoulders out. Start to move through cat and cow. On your inhale, let your chest come forward, roll your shoulders down and back, and lean forward in your seat. And on your exhale, round your spine, tuck chin to chest, and lean back. You might find you need to sit a little farther forward on your chair to give yourself ample room for that cat movement where you're rounding back. Continue to move through at your own pace. You can take one breath per movement, or you might find that you want to move a little slower this morning, or maybe one of these two movements is really calling to you. So you might hold in that position and take little shifts. Again, feeling through, listening to your body, just kind of saying good morning to your spine. Finish out your last round of cat and cow, and then come up through a tall neutral, shoulders over hips. Lift your chest, inhale. On your exhale, keep your spine nice and long, hinge from the hips, lean forward. You might stop with just a little bit of lean. That might be enough for you right now, or you might begin to walk your hands down your legs. You might even reach your fingertips to the mat. This is our first one of class, so don't worry about getting super deep, just kind of starting out here. Press your feet down as you start to roll back upright. Shoulders in line over hips, tall spine. Big breath in. Open your mouth, release, exhale. One more time, big breath in. Open your mouth, release, exhale. Inhale, sit up tall. And on your exhale, strong spine, hinge from the hip crease. You want to hinge from the hips. I'll turn to the sides and you can see. So tall spine stays nice and long, hinge right from the hip crease. So you might only do a small lean forward, but that's still going to provide the stretch in the back of your body. You want to avoid rounding with just your upper body. See how my spine went back towards the chair instead? That's not going to increase the stretch very much. So even just a small lean forward is going to be really, really beneficial. Keep thinking shoulders down and back, lift the chest. You might stay here, or again, you might start to walk your hands down your legs, but you want to hinge from the hip crease. Once you get to this point where torso and thighs connect, then you might take your forehead and round it down towards your legs. Then that creates a little bit of that rounding shape in your spine. On an inhale, start to roll yourself back upright. Stack shoulders over hips. Take a big breath in. Open your mouth and exhale, release. One more time, inhale and exhale. Make sure your feet are right underneath your knees in line with your hips, and press your feet down, make both legs strong. Then take your right hand across for your left leg. Take your left hand to the chair next to you, or it could go behind you if you'd like. Lift your chest, and then take your left shoulder up, back, and down into your twist. Keep taking your knees wide so they stay in line over your ankles. You'll notice right away that this right knee, it wants to dump inwards into the twist. Press your feet down firmly and lift your chest, extend your spine. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, untwist. Come back to neutral, maybe readjust your seat, and then left hand across for your right leg. Right hand can hold onto the chair or be set on the seat behind you. Take your right shoulder up to your ear, back and down. Lift into that twist. Keep pressing your feet down. Your legs provide that base of support for your twist to start. And take your knees wide. Avoid that left knee dropping inwards. Keep it in line right in front of your hip. Extend up through the crown of your head, lengthen your spine. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, untwist, release. We'll take that forward fold once more. Inhale and exhale, hinge from the hip crease. You can stop wherever makes sense for you and maybe walk your hands down to the ground. Now, if your hands can reach the ground, you want to start pressing your hands down. You can tent up your fingertips, or if you can reach your entire palm down, that works as well. Press hands and feet down to the ground, and if only your feet are on the ground, press your feet down really firmly. Walk your hands back up, stack shoulders over hips, big breath in. Exhale, release. Twisting once more, right hand across for your left knee. Left shoulder up, back, and down. Place that hand behind you or beside you on your chair and lift into your twist. Focus on left shoulder drawing back, making space and length all the way across your collarbones. Feet press down, knees go a little wider. One more breath in. On your exhale, untwist. Reset in neutral, and then switch sides. Left hand across for your right knee, right shoulder up, back, and down. Your right hand goes beside or behind you on your seat. Press your feet down firmly and keep your knees going wide, and then really focus on drawing your right shoulder back, length right across your collarbones. One more big breath in. On your exhale, untwist, release. Full breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. Walk your feet out a little wider than your hips. You want to end with heels in and toes pointing out to the side. Big breath in. On your exhale, that same hinge forward. Really focus on feet pressing down here. Your legs need to be strong and engaged to support you because you won't have a lot of weight on the seat. You can keep your hands on your knees like I have them here, however they support you best. Or just like our other folds, you might walk down and maybe even take your hands all the way to the ground. If your hands are on the ground, press your hands down firmly as well as your feet. Full breath in. Long breath out. Walk your hands back up your legs. Roll upright. And heel toe your feet all the way in together. Bring your feet and legs in as close as they'll go. That might not be all the way together for you, and that's okay as well. Press your feet down firmly and squeeze your legs in. The more you squeeze your legs in, the stronger that you'll feel your legs getting. Then send your arms up overhead. Aim for wrists in line over shoulders, shoulders in line over hips. Squeeze legs in and press your feet down. This is power pose. Take one more breath in. Exhale, arms release down. Take a moment and break with your legs. Stop squeezing your legs in. Maybe pedal your feet out. And then again, feet and legs all the way together or as close as they'll go. If it's not comfortable to bring your feet all the way together, placing a cushion between your knees so you can still squeeze against something is a really good way to practice this pose. Feet and legs squeeze in all the way together and press your feet down firmly. You should feel your legs getting super strong and engaged. Arms reach upright overhead, power pose. Stack wrists over shoulders and aim to make your spine a little bit taller. Press your feet down even more. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Relax those legs. Maybe pedal your feet out. One more time, and this time, if you would like, you can practice without the chair. You can start from a standing pose. I'm going to demonstrate. And if you'd like to use your chair for the third time, do it exactly the same way we did the first two. If you would like to start from standing, go ahead and stand up. Bring your feet and legs together or almost together, just like you did when you were sitting down. Squeeze your legs in to start, and then bend your knees, sit back towards your chair, and reach your arms up. Keep your hips right over your chair so that if you need, you can sit down at any time. Keep squeezing legs in, and then aim to bring your torso more upright over your hips. Take one more breath in. On your exhale, release. Sit down if you're standing up. Take your feet wide, maybe walk your feet out. Then go ahead and line up your heels right underneath your knees. Extend your right foot out. Ooh, let me scoot back a little so you can see my feet. Slide your right foot forward. You want to do this just enough that you have a little bit of bend in your knee. Don't straighten your leg all the way. Little bend in the knee still. Press your heel down to the ground and feel your leg getting strong. Then reach your right fingertips towards your toe. You might simply reach in that direction, or you might find that you can actually grab onto your toe. If you can grab your toe, press your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. If you want to recreate this experience, but you can't quite reach, a little towel, a belt, a t-shirt around your foot that you can hold onto can also do the trick really well. With the pressure between your hand and foot, you're going to feel the stretch in the back of your leg get a little bit more intense. In a good way, good intensity. Release and roll upright. Replant your right foot underneath your knee. And then extend your left leg. Again, keep that little bit of bend in your knee. You don't want to let your knee lock all the way out. The bend in your knee is going to allow you to press your heel down to the ground with strength and really draw your toes up and back towards you. Left fingertips reach towards your foot. You might reach in that direction. You might do the trick, use something to hold on to your foot, or you might go ahead, reach all the way down and hold on to your foot with your hand. Press your foot and hand together. And right away, you should feel more engagement in the back of your leg, getting a little bit stronger back there. Keep extending your spine. Think hinge from the hip crease. Roll up and replant your left foot underneath your knee. Extend your right leg once more in the same way. That little bit of bend in your knee, press your heel down. This time, take your opposite hand, your left hand, and you're going to reach towards those toes. Flex your foot up towards you. Opposite hand reaches across. This is going to hit a little bit of a different part of your hamstring. And if you're like me, this is a little bit of a more intense stretch. Remember to keep pressing through your heel. If you would like, take your right arm, go right out to the side with it. Nice. Roll upright. Right foot replaces underneath your knee. Left heel slides out. Flex your foot, draw your toes up to your face, and really anchor your heel down. This time, opposite hand, so your right hand is going to reach towards that foot. You might be able to grab on, or you might use a prop to help you. Keep anchoring your heel to the ground. Keep your legs strong. And like I said on the first side, with this kind of, with the opposite hand variation, I find it a little harder to engage the legs. So really focus on that. And if you'd like to add that extra layer of intensity, left arm goes out at shoulder height. Yeah, right out to the side. Press both feet down. Nice. Release out, roll up. Replant your left heel underneath your knee. Take both feet in just a little bit closer to you. And then lift your heels so you're up on the balls of your feet. Yeah, feel your calves engage. Lift up a little higher. Then release down. One more time, lift up, heels high. Maybe lift up a little higher, squeeze in. And now keep lifting, but press your toes down to the ground. Nice, release those heels down. Extend both legs out about halfway, just like we did with our individual legs in that last stretch. Press your heels down, make your legs strong, take an inhale. You can either hinge slightly forward, and you might like to hold onto your seat. That can feel really supportive here. You might like hands on legs, or you might find you have extra space to reach all the way down for your toes. You can also stand up and practice a standing forward fold here. Bend your knees a little bit, hinge from the hip crease, and reach down to or towards the ground. Again, either variation works, seated or standing. If you would like, once you reach in your fold, however much hinge in the hip crease you can get, pause there, and then you can take your spine and round in the upper spine to look back towards your legs. You want to do that last, though. Hinge from the hip crease first, then round in the spine as your last step. Press your feet down as you roll up. Go ahead and find your seat once more. Just have one more seated stretch for the legs, and then we'll do a few standing poses here. Go ahead and take your right leg. We'll start with both feet in your neutral stance, hip distance apart, feet under knees. Take your right leg and extend it out. And then draw your knee up to your chest, squeeze in, try to sit up tall, get your knee as close to you as you can. And roll your ankle a few times. Change direction if you like. And then you can stay right here or cross your ankle over your knee, make your figure 4 shape. Flex your right foot up to your knee. You can stay right here or release your hands and let your knee drop down. If you feel any pain in your knee, you might want to support with your right hand underneath your leg and stay right here. Back off from that threshold of pain and find that moment where you get the nice stretch here in your hip, but not in your knee. If this feels okay for you, you might take your hands away and you might even hinge from the hip crease and start to lean forward slightly. Keep pressing your left foot down to the ground. Keep flexing your toes back to your knee and extend your spine. Think long through the crown of your head. Go back upright. Draw knee to chest, squeeze in. Roll that ankle out on your way back down to the ground. Then plant your feet firmly. Right foot presses down. Left knee draws up to your chest. Squeeze your leg in, sit up as tall as you can. Get your knee up high to your chest and roll your ankle out. Maybe change direction. On this ankle, I can only kind of go one way. When I try to go the opposite way, it's hard. So you might experience that as well on one of your feet or both. And then you might stay right here or flex your foot, cross your ankle over your knee. Make sure your foot is flexed and you can support your knee or let your hand go as your knee falls away from you. Sit up tall, stay right here, or keep pressing down through your right foot, hinge and lean forward. If you feel any pain in your knee, back off out of this a little bit and continue to flex your foot back up towards your knee. You can also think this pinky toe edge of your left foot presses out and down towards your opposite leg. Those actions are going to really support your knee so that the stretch comes from your hip rather than lower down on your leg. Press down through your right foot, move back upright. Hug your knee to your chest, roll that ankle out on your way back down to the ground. Press both feet down, sit up tall, and one more time on each side. Knee to chest, squeeze in first, sit up tall, roll that ankle out. Then flex your foot. Cross ankle over knee, figure 4 shape. Take that shape to any degree you want. Your knee might be higher or lower than mine is. And then sit up nice and tall. 2 options here. You can hinge forward, or if you'd like something different, take your right hand, reach for your heel, and just a really gentle twist. Yeah, you don't want to make this twist too intense. This pose gets intense super quickly. So really gentle twist here, lifting up tall through your chest. Again, the option to fold forward is still there, so you can choose the one that you prefer. Untwist or roll upright, and then draw knee to chest. Roll your ankle out on the way back down to the ground. Press both feet down, left knee to chest, squeeze in. Roll that ankle a few times, and then flex your toes right up to your knee. Stay here, cross ankle over knee, figure 4 shape. Again, choosing that shape that works for you. And then 2 options. Option 1, hinge forward, just like we did the first time, or stay upright. Option 2, you're gonna take your left hand, reach for your left heel, and just gently twist. Yeah, keep shoulders in line over hips. Your right hand might support you on the chair beside or behind you. With an exhale, untwist. Draw knee up to chest, squeeze in. Roll your ankle out on the way back down to the ground. Walk your feet out wide, wider than your hips. And with heels in, toes out. Press your feet down firmly, lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, walk your hands down your legs, folding forward. Maybe taking hands all the way to the ground. Press your feet down firmly. That's going to make your legs more engaged. Then slowly roll back upright. Stack shoulders over hips. Heel toe your feet all the way in together. For our next few poses, we'll be practicing some standing postures. We'll always use the chair for support underneath your hands, but if you'd like, you can always modify seated in your chair. Many of you have come to class and you know how to take those modifications for yourself, and always listen to your body. Like I said before, choosing those moments that work for you, just kind of evaluating at each step. So if you are going to stand up, go ahead and take a moment to transition. Your table or counter are often sturdier than the back of a chair, so that's a good option that you might want to explore in your own home. Go ahead and get set up. We'll start standing just behind the chair. Take your feet hip distance apart, a little bit of bend in your knees. Take your hands to the chair and press your arms almost to straight, depending on your height and the height of the chair. This might or might not be possible. So you might be able to straighten your arms all the way. They might still be a little bent, but you want to actively press your hands down. Let your shoulders drop down and back and lift your chest. Pressing your hands down actively is going to allow you to lift your chest a little bit more. Start to notice your abdomen. So you might find that your belly button feels like it's going forward and your hips backwards, like there's a lean forward. If that's the case, you want to draw your belly button back to your spine and press your hips forward. There's a chance that you actually feel like you're leaning back from your chair a little bit, like you're pressing your hands down and your hips are closer to your chair than your shoulders. If that's the case, you want to press down more through the balls of your feet to bring your hips back and shoulders in line. Nice. So wherever you're at, just take that moment and kind of evaluate. Are my hips closer to the chair than my shoulders? Are my hips farther? Or am I already kind of doing a pretty good job of stacking up? Your natural stance might tend to be more forward or more back, and that's okay. But for right now, we want to try to neutralize and get a little bit of engagement going in the abdomen. Draw the waistline back. Lift your chest a little more and let your shoulders drop down and back. It might feel weird at first, but go with it. Then, if you feel comfortable, take your hands away from the chair, reach your arms down, press through your feet, and lift your chest. Nice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release arms down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, release arms down. If you feel more comfortable with a hand on the chair, one arm at a time might be doable for you here. Take one more round, inhale up, and exhale down. And then take hands to the chair. Step your right foot forward as close to the chair as it can go. Bend your right knee and step your left foot back. Warrior one. You want to come into your lunge position. Stack your front knee over your ankle, shin vertical, and square your hips to the chair. Left hip moves forward, right hip back. Naturally, this is what your hips are going to want to do. They're going to want to open more to the side. So turn more to the chair, and you'll feel now that your back heel wants to get light. Okay, go ahead and let your back heel get light. You can stay like this if it's more comfortable for you, or reach that heel down and back down toward the ground. Now you'll feel that deep stretch in the back and front of your left leg. Hands can stay on the chair, or you might reach one or both arms up. Stack up, wrists over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and really tuck your tail forward. Think squeeze your glutes behind you. Take one more big breath in. And on your exhale, release. Step left foot forward, right foot back. Reset, neutral, fingertips just reach the chair. Warrior one on the second side. Left foot steps forward close to the chair. Bend your knee, right foot steps all the way back. You want to make this stance about as long as you can without your feet sliding away from each other. Square your hips to the chair. Left hip moves back, right hip forward. If you kind of identify your hip bones, you can notice that your right hip likely is drawing back away from the chair, so you want to tilt it forward, and left hip pulls back away. Press your heel down, or keep the back heel lifted if that's more comfortable for you. Hands can stay on the chair, or you might reach one or both arms up. Press your feet down firmly, squeeze your glutes, and stack up, torso over hips. Take one more full breath in, and on your exhale, release out of the pose. Right foot forward, left foot back. Pedal your feet out a few times, and then step back, one step away from the chair. You might just barely be able to reach or have to lean forward slightly to reach. That's okay. Take your feet as wide as they can comfortably go without sliding away from each other, and turn all 10 toes to point directly up to your chair. Little bend in the knees and start to hinge forward. Try to make an L shape with your body so legs are mostly straight and your back is also mostly straight. You can come right here to this position, or if you feel comfortable, come up out. Step farther away. Reach with your fingertips and take this position with your arms extended. You can come up and out of the pose whenever you need. Take a break, take a moment and get back into it, or just come up out and wait for a moment as everyone else has enough time to get that stretch through the back of the body. Then squeeze your legs, press your hips forward to come upright. If you stepped back farther from your chair, step in a little bit closer again so that you can just bring your fingertips to touch. One more time through warrior one on each side. So hips point right to the chair, left or right foot steps forward, bend your knee, left foot steps back. Press your heel down or keep your back heel lifted if that's more comfortable. Square your hips up to the chair, tuck your tailbone, and stack shoulders over hips. Keep hands on the chair, or one or both arms can reach up. Full breath in, long breath out. One more inhale, maybe you turn your gaze up. And exhale, release out of your pose, left foot forward, right foot back, reset in the middle. And last side, last time, left foot forward, bend your knee, right foot steps back. Square your hips to the chair, tuck your tail forward, and stack shoulders up in line right over hips. Arms can reach up if you prefer. Full breath in. Exhale. Inhale, maybe look up. And exhale. Hands back to the chair. Right foot forward, left foot back. Pedal your feet out a little bit. We're going to move on to warrior two. Warrior two. You can practice this seated or standing. I'm going to demonstrate seated one time because I haven't in a couple weeks. And then I'll demonstrate standing for our second round. So if you would like to practice this pose seated, you're going to start in your chair. You're going to walk your feet out as wide as they will go. And this is kind of like your neutral position. Then what you're going to do, you're going to scoot your seat to the left so that most of your right leg is supported on the chair and your seat is kind of right on the edge. Nice. You want to take those toes and turn them out to the side as much as is comfortable for you. You don't want to go really far or certainly far enough to cause pain in your knee, like to the 45 or so. Then you want to take your opposite leg and walk it out to be straight or almost straight. Those toes will point forward so that the outer edge of your foot presses down. Again, you don't want to cause pain in your knee, so you might find a little bend in the knee is optimal. But I've got one knee bent a lot more. Shoulders stay stacked over hips, and you want to keep your torso forward. Warrior two looks really similar to, but it's kind of like the opposite of warrior one. In warrior one, we turn our shoulders to point in the same direction that our front knee is going. In warrior two, we take our shoulders and open them along the line of our legs. If you would like, you can extend your arms out at shoulder height. Make little blade hands, close in all your fingers and thumbs, and turn palms down. Reach out for your fingertips, but relax your shoulders. Bring your arms down. Walk your feet back in a little bit, and we'll start the work of switching sides here, sitting down. So you want to kind of scoot your seat over to the right so that most of your left thigh is going to connect with the chair. Nice. Turn your toes out to the 45 or maybe a little farther, but certainly not far enough to cause pain in this left knee. And then your right leg is going to walk out to the side to be straight or almost straight. Turn your toes forward so that you can press down through the outer edge of your foot. Stack up, shoulders over hips, and this is warrior two, so keep your torso facing forward and open your arms out to the side if you'd like. Again, those blade hands, close all your fingers and thumb like this, and turn palms down. Relax your shoulders, but keep arms active. Reach out through your fingertips. Press both feet down. Go ahead and release. Okay, so if you'd like to stay seated, that's the way that we'll switch sides. So use that time to kind of walk your foot in, slide over, and set up for the second side. If you're going to practice standing, you can use the chair in front of you, but for the purposes of seeing me, I'm going to stand in front of the chair. You're going to start with a wide stance, feet about as wide as they can go without sliding away from each other. Arms go out in line over your ankles. Take your right toes, turn them out to the side. Warrior two, bend your right knee. Nice. Keep shoulders stacking right over hips and press through the outer edge of your back foot. If you're seated, still press your feet down. Try to make your legs as strong as possible. Bend and widen your right knee so it's more in line with your pinky toe. And then straighten your right leg. Turn right toes in, left toes out, and bend your knee, warrior two. Knee in line right over ankle, tuck your tail forward. So you might kind of find, especially if you're standing, that it feels like your seat wants to shoot out behind you and dip your torso forward. Try to stay upright and press both feet down, squeeze your glutes. Straighten your left leg, turn all 10 toes forward. From standing or from seated, little forward fold. So if you're seated, heels and toes out, we've been here before. If you're standing, you can use the support of your chair and fold forward. You might pause here, or you might continue to walk down the levels of your chair. Be careful with your head. You might even take your hands all the way down to the mat in a standing wide leg fold. A little bend in your knees if you're standing up can be incredibly beneficial to your pose. So if you don't usually do that, I definitely suggest trying. On an inhale, roll back upright. If you're behind your chair, just watch out. Be careful of your head as you roll up. Stack shoulders up right over your hips and heel toe your feet together. Nice. We'll take a few balancing poses now. Always the option to use the chair when you balance. So go ahead and stand up if that's something that you would like to do. Or again, if you prefer to stay seated, you can always participate in the arms or the legs to the best of your ability today. So go ahead and set up right behind your chair. You're going to take your right foot to be centered behind your chair. And you're going to take your left foot and slide it out behind you. Take a little bit of bend in your right leg and try to take as little weight in your left leg as possible. Nice. Now feel your inner thighs squeezing in together. You can keep your tippy toe down, or your left foot might just float up an inch off the mat. If your left foot floats up, keep shoulders stacking over hips. Feel that little bit of squeeze right from the back of your leg. Take one more inhale and exhale. Left foot steps down by your right. Right toe slide back. Little bend in your left leg. Feel it supporting you. Put the weight in your left leg. Less and less weight in your right foot. You might keep your tippy toe down for support, or you might just float that leg up. What we want to feel here is the engagement coming right from the top of your glute. So the back of your leg squeezing right here at the base of your spine for the support of that lift. Release down. Walk your feet out a few times, and then left foot slides back. This time, keep your foot down, float your toe up, or you can hinge from the hip crease and start to move into warrior three. You can keep your hands on the chair for support, or you might take your arms just to heart center, so barely off the chair. You might reach your arms back alongside you. Hinge upright. Pedal your feet out a few times and switch sides again. Warrior three. Right tippy toe slide back. Tone in your thighs together. Maybe you keep tippy toes down. Maybe you float your foot. Maybe you hinge at the hip crease. Extend forward through the crown of your head, back through your lifted leg. You can keep your hands on the chair. You might take palms to heart center, or you might extend your arms alongside you. If you lose balance like me, don't worry. Just take those hands back to the chair and reset. And then hinge upright, step down, and walk your feet out a few times. Tree pose. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what I'm doing, and you're certainly welcome to do this as well, or you can stand right behind your chair for support. Balance on your right leg, take your left foot, tippy toes can touch down and just bring your heel towards the inside of your ankle. You can also place your foot below your knee or grab onto your ankle and bring your foot above your knee. Basically, your foot can go anywhere on your leg except for your knee joint itself. Your knee does not enjoy lateral pressure. Make your standing leg really strong. Press your foot and leg together to build strength and stack your shoulders right over your hips. You can keep your hand or hands on the chair for support, or maybe you take one hand away or both hands away. If your hands come off the chair, feel free to take any arm variation that you like. Take another moment here and step down, walk your feet out and switch sides. So again, you can go tippy toes, can still touch down and just bring your heel towards your ankle. Take a little bend in your left leg so that you can still make the base of support come mostly from one foot. Or you might feel comfortable lifting those toes up, placing your foot below or above your knee. Toe points down, knee points right out to the side, and the more you squeeze in the back of your body, the more that knee is going to draw out. Stack shoulders right over hips, and maybe one or both hands come away from the chair. A drishti, a steady gazing point that doesn't move, can be really helpful for balance. For myself, I also find that for me it's the big toe. If I press through my big toe, balance becomes a lot more simple, and typically when I feel unbalanced, I'm not focusing on my big toe is the first thing that I'll notice. So that trick might work for you as well. I hope it does. Go ahead and step down, pedal your feet out a few times, and we'll switch sides once more, tree pose. Can go tippy toe, above, or below the knee. Strong standing leg, and really press your foot and leg together. In most yoga postures, there's a balance of stretch and strength, and the two work together to create that really, really good feeling in your body. One without the other isn't that impactful and can actually be harmful. So it's really nice to do the two at once. You use the strength to create the stretch. Go ahead and step down, and we'll practice on the last side. Pedal your feet out, take the movements you want, and switch. Tippy toe could touch down, could be at your calf or above your knee. Use your hands on the chair, and sometimes it's just that little moment of liftoff. And another good way, if you're hesitant to lift your hand all the way off the chair, try to remove one finger at a time. So maybe going down to just 3 fingers, maybe just 2, maybe just 1 finger on the chair, and maybe just lighter and lighter pressure on that finger until you don't need it anymore. Go ahead and release down, pedal your feet out, and we're going to take one more round of that hinge stretch that we did before. So the idea here is to stay in an L shape. You can step your feet back just a short distance from your chair so that your chest is coming more down in line, and you might not get quite all the way to that 90-degree L. It might be a more open angle. You might step back farther from your chair and be able to extend your arms in the L and increase the stretch that you get all the way across your chest, your shoulders, through your spine. If you are in this arm extended version, press your hips back. If you're not quite to that arm extended version, bend your knees and feel your hips going back. Rather than bending your knees and sending your knees forward, bend your knees, keep them in line over your ankles, and send your hips back. Come up out of the pose whenever you need, or hold for a few more breaths here, releasing tension with each exhale. And then go ahead and roll upright. Press your hips forward, walk feet into the chair. Go ahead and find your seat once more. We have a few more movements that we'll be going through before our final meditation and rest. If there are postures on the floor that you would like to take, you're certainly welcome to, and now would be the time to incorporate those into your own home practice. I know many of you are seasoned practitioners, and so this is definitely your opportunity to take that time for some of your own movements. We are going to do a little bit of stretch for the neck here. But just listen carefully to each step of the setup before you go right into this stretch, because there's a few kind of fine-tuned movements, and I want everyone to get set up the right way, especially since we're not in the room together and I can't help correct individuals. Go ahead and start with your feet just a little wider than we did with our regular stance throughout most of class. It's going to be just slightly wider than hip distance. For most people, it's going to be about your chair distance wide. Take your left hand and you're going to hold on to the side of the chair just behind you. You want to find something that you can actually grab onto. If whatever you're sitting on does not have something you can hold onto, make sure that you're right on the edge so you can at least hold on to the edge of your seat just behind and underneath your head. Then you're going to take your chin, turn it 45 degrees towards your right knee. You are then going to tilt your head down, also on 45 degrees. This is kind of like the Earth's axis. You tilt and then you also turn. So you turn your head and then you tilt. Then take your hand just behind your head, above the nape of your neck, and gently add pressure in that direction. Your left shoulder should relax down and back, away from your ear, and just add gentle pressure. If this pressure is too much for your neck, do the opposite. Just support underneath your cheek and lean forward. Use the left shoulder drawing back to create the stretch, and that's going to be a lot more gentle. If you want that stretch that's a little bit deeper, a little bit more intense, hand just above the nape of the neck, get that tilt and that turn, and then adding that pressure down. We're going to hold for about 30 seconds here. Find that base of support in your feet. Lengthen your spine, sit up taller, and that's going to change the quality of the stretch. Gently remove your hand. Support your head coming back upright. You might roll side to side really gently here before we switch sides. So your right hand is going to hold on to that seat beside or behind you. If you reach really far behind you, it is going to make the stretch more intense. So you just want to go with a level of intensity that's going to work for you and work with your personal bodies. We're all different. Press your feet down firmly. Take your chin, turn towards your knee, and then tilt your head downwards. Then that's when you start to do that lean. You can support underneath or add extra pressure. Your left hand comes just above the nape of your neck, and you do pretty much center your hand behind your head. It doesn't go up and over by your ear, just center behind, and you want that pressure to be more forward and down than anything. Your right shoulder draws down and back, and your shoulder is doing most of the work to create the stretch here. Gently remove your hand, support your head coming back up through the center, And again, just those really gentle movements. We'll do one more time on each side of the same movement. So chin turns towards your left leg. Left hand behind you. Chin turns towards your right knee. Right hand behind your head, get that tilt downwards, and gentle pressure. Got my left and my right a little confused there. Press your feet down. Keep that activity in your legs, and keep thinking tall through your spine. Shoulder drops away from your ear. Support your head coming back upright. And last time, little movements as you switch, right hand to side or behind you. Chin turns and tilts towards your left knee. Then hand behind your head, adding that pressure or supporting from underneath your cheek. Make your legs strong. Continue to let that shoulder melt away from your ear. Support your head coming back up through center. Roll it out a little bit. And then allow your chin to drop to your chest. You can simply stay like this, or hands interlace behind your head, not your neck. Let your elbows drop down and add a little bit of rounding in your spine. Release your hands. Either support your chin or lift your chin. And then turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Back to center and over your right shoulder. One more time over your left shoulder and over your right shoulder. Come back through center. Go ahead and make your way into a little bit of a more comfortable seat. So you could stay in your same chair that you've been using, or if you have a different seat in your apartment or a different meditative posture that you prefer, certainly feel free to take it. Rest your feet comfortably. It might be a little bit wider than your knees. And even though your spine might be supported now by your chair, continue to have a little bit of activity sitting up tall. This is going to give you space to take a deep, full breath. Allow your chin to drop halfway to your chest. Relax your face. You might close your eyes or simply gaze softly at the ground in front of you. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feel your shoulders getting a little heavier. Hands rest on your legs. Start to notice your breath. Is it faster or slower than it was earlier? Check in with yourself just like you did at the beginning of class. We're going to take a few rounds of a breathing technique called square breathing this morning. As always, you're welcome to participate, or if it doesn't seem like it's for you, you're welcome to leave it. I'll begin counting for the pace of inhale and exhale. And for a few rounds of breath, we'll simply work to match our pace all together. Begin by releasing all your air. And then inhale to a count of 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and release. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, release. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold at the top. 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Hold empty. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, filling up. Hold at the top, full, right across the top of a square. Releasing out, moving down, and hold empty. Breathe in, visualize filling up the left side of a square in your mind, and hold at the top, moving across the top edge of the square. Empty out, releasing down the other side, and hold empty across the bottom. Breathe in, filling up, and hold across the top. Release, emptying out, and hold across the bottom. One more round. Breathe in, and hold at the top. Emptying out, and hold at the bottom. Breathe in and start to allow your breath now to slowly return to a more normal pace. First, removing the holds, and then allowing your breath to slow down or speed up as makes sense for you. Check in with your body. If any spots of tension have come up, start to relax, find ease, and we'll settle in for just a few moments of rest here. Close your eyes, rest your hands comfortably, and if you'd like, you might turn your palms up toward the ceiling, let your fingertips curl in. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your breath to breathe itself. Relax your face and just be. Shavasana, rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Take gentle movements to fingers and toes. If you chose to lay down for Shavasana, take a moment to make your way up to your seat. If you're seated in your chair, come back forward to your more active seat. Stack your heels right underneath your knees. Bring palms together at heart center. We'll close with the sound Om one time. You're welcome to sing along or listen. Release your air. Full breath in. Thumbs to forehead center. With gratitude for this practice, namaste. Thank you all so much for joining in. As always, it's such a pleasure to share with you. If you have questions or need anything, please find me around the community, send an email, reach out. I'm happy to hear from you. And as always, let us know how we can improve this experience for you. Thank you for your suggestion that we move location. We've heard from you that this one's a lot better. So happy Sunday, have a great day, and see you soon. Thank you.